Most people think success is about intelligence. Others believe it is about talent. Some think it comes down to luck, being in the right place, at the right time, meeting the right people, making the right investment. And while all of those things matter, they fail to explain one uncomfortable reality. Why do some people continue winning year after year, decade after decade, while others repeatedly start over? Why do some companies dominate entire industries while others disappear? Why do a small number of individuals create extraordinary results from seemingly ordinary beginnings? The answer is not found in speed. It is found in compounding. And few modern stories illustrate this better than NVIDIA. Today, NVIDIA is one of the most valuable companies in the world. Its products power artificial intelligence, data centers, robotics, autonomous systems, scientific research, and some of the most advanced technologies ever created. Yet this success did not happen overnight. In fact, for most of its existence, NVIDIA was largely ignored. For decades, the company quietly focused on a single mission while the world chased faster opportunities. And that is where the first lesson begins. Most people dramatically overestimate what can happen in a year, and dramatically underestimate what can happen in 20. Human beings are wired for immediate rewards. We want visible progress, instant feedback, quick victories. But compounding operates according to a different timeline. For a long period, it appears as though nothing is happening. Effort accumulates, knowledge accumulates, relationships accumulate, experience accumulates. Then suddenly, the results become visible. The world notices the outcome, but rarely notices the accumulation. When Jensen Huang co-founded NVIDIA in 1993, artificial intelligence was not a global obsession. There were no headlines predicting trillion-dollar AI markets. There were no armies of investors desperately searching for AI stocks. There was simply a vision, a belief that accelerated computing would become increasingly important over time. That vision required patience. And patience is becoming one of the rarest assets in modern society. Most people abandon their goals long before compounding begins to work. They change strategies, change careers, change investments, change directions, not because the path is wrong, but because the rewards have not arrived quickly enough. The modern world rewards reaction. Compounding rewards consistency. This creates a powerful advantage for anyone willing to think differently. Consider two individuals. The first spends years searching for the perfect opportunity. The second spends years steadily improving a valuable skill. At first, the first person appears smarter, more informed, more strategic. But over time, the second person begins to pull ahead. Small improvements accumulate. Knowledge compounds. Reputation compounds. Opportunities compound. Eventually, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. The same principle applies to businesses. NVIDIA did not become dominant by chasing every trend. It became dominant by continuously strengthening its position in a field it deeply understood. While competitors focused on short-term advantages, NVIDIA continued building capabilities that would become exponentially valuable later. This highlights a second principle. The biggest rewards often come from staying in the game. Many people assume success belongs to the smartest participants. In reality, success frequently belongs to those who remain active long enough to benefit from compounding. In investing, remaining invested matters. In business, remaining operational matters. In learning, remaining curious matters. The longer the time horizon, the more powerful compounding becomes. This is why patience often beats brilliance. Brilliance creates possibilities. Patience captures them. There is another lesson hidden within NVIDIA's story. Most people focus on outcomes. Very few focus on positioning. Outcomes are visible. Positioning is invisible. Outcomes generate headlines. Positioning generates future outcomes. Years before artificial intelligence transformed global markets, NVIDIA had already spent decades building the infrastructure required to benefit from that transformation. By the time the opportunity became obvious, the preparation had already been completed. This is how compounding works. The visible reward arrives long after the invisible effort. Many people want extraordinary outcomes. Few are willing to endure ordinary days. Yet extraordinary outcomes are built from ordinary days repeated consistently. One workout rarely changes a body. One book rarely changes a mind. One investment rarely creates wealth. One conversation rarely changes a career. But thousands of repetitions create remarkable results. The challenge is that compounding feels slow while it is happening. This causes people to quit during the most important phase. They mistake a lack of visible results for a lack of progress. They fail to recognize that the foundation is still being built. The most dangerous moment is often just before compounding becomes visible, because that is when doubt is strongest. This principle extends far beyond business. It applies to health, relationships, knowledge, character, financial independence. Every meaningful advantage in life follows a compounding curve. The difficulty is not understanding the concept. The difficulty is trusting the process long enough for the process to work. The NVIDIA principle can therefore be summarized in a single idea. Do not focus on appearing successful. Focus on becoming difficult to compete with. Every day, improve something small. Increase your knowledge. Refine your judgment. Strengthen your skills. Expand your network. Improve your systems. Most of these improvements will seem insignificant in isolation, but over years, they become transformational. The world celebrates dramatic success stories. What it rarely celebrates are the decades of invisible preparation that made those stories possible. Behind every seemingly sudden success lies an accumulation process that few people noticed. This is why compounding remains one of the most misunderstood forces in human achievement. People see the result. They do not see the repetition. They see the victory. They do not see the consistency. They see the wealth. They do not see the patience. The truth is simple. The future rarely belongs to the fastest. It rarely belongs to the loudest. It rarely belongs to the smartest. More often, it belongs to those who stay committed while others become distracted. Those who continue building while others continue searching. Those who understand that meaningful success is not created in a moment. It is compounded over time. And that is the NVIDIA principle. Not speed. Not hype. Not luck. Compounding. The force that quietly separates ordinary outcomes from extraordinary ones.